Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday night's edition of Paranormal Question Day with Expedition Entity. I can't even talk. Sorry. Be right back right after the intro.
Awesome.
And we're back. So I hope everybody's having a great Monday. I'm glad it's almost done. And so we have Expedition Entity on with us tonight, and we have Mr. Dan Norville and Larry Eisler down below us here. Taryn will be on momentarily. And welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, Carmen. So, how was your weekend, guys? I know mine was halfway decent.
It was
eventful.
It was good. Yeah. It was a good weekend.
I feel like I have con brain. You know, like I had to give exams today at the college, and then we filmed their commercials, and I wasn't there mentally. Like I still haven't recovered from the long weekend, so I'm just like spacing out in the corner, going, "Yeah, you guys are doing great."
Right. Hey, Tom. Hey, Penny. Welcome to the show. Taryn will be on momentarily, so sit back, relax, enjoy the show tonight, folks. We got some great people on with us, and so let's start out with Spirits in the Spring, Paracon, and what it was all about and where it was. Dan, you want to start?
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just pulling this feed up on my phone so I could see chat, because for some reason my computer will not let me see the chat. So then I can look over and see chat too. Yeah, Spirits of the Spring. It seemed like, you know, just yesterday we were talking about it, and it was like 9 months ago when this all started getting planned, and it was decided that it was going to be held at Broadhead Manor, and you know, I did a live here about an hour ago on my page and was talking about it a little bit. And I couldn't think of a smoother running con that I've ever been to. Larry and I remarked on it last night when we did our live. Hey, Jamie Lynn.
Hey, Jamie Lynn.
Larry and I remarked on it last night on our live, and I said it again today. If they were having any issues, none of us knew about
it. Yeah, no.
I mean, everything just went smooth as glass as far as we knew. So
there's Taryn.
There's Taryn.
Hey, Taryn.
Hello, fellas.
Hey, Amy Bing.
So, but you know what? And Darren, you've been there and finally got to meet you at the con.
Right.
I mean, what better place could you be for a con than Broadhead Manor?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a place I love. Next to the museum. Laurie's not in yet.
It's just absolutely it's an incredible location. You know, incredible spirits there. Incredible.
I think you'll have a great time, Taryn.
Yeah, you will. You know, Bill is incredible, and like I said, you know, Bill is the one who makes Broadhead Manor.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
but you also gotta consider all the special effects work that Ron does.
Oh yeah, Ron's really good about this stuff.
All those statues and all the throne, like he just made that stuff.
Right.
And you know, it was so cool for us to see Ron show up yesterday or not
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
And he just had a blast.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes you don't see Ron up at Broadhead Manor.
So, right. He's always upstairs or away because he's kind of a shy kind of guy, but he's really cool to talk to and
Ron
get to know.
Awesome. I mean, Ron is awesome. Anytime I ever stop over at Bill's house, Ron and I just have a hoot. So, yeah, I mean, you couldn't think of two better guys and a location, you know, that really hinges on how cool they really are.
Right.
And I said earlier today that when Bill decides, okay, I'm fully retired, I'm ridding myself of everything.
Mhm.
Broadhead Manor will not be the same place to investigate once Bill's no longer part of it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they're fixed to move this year or next year if they're full time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would be an
What's up,
extra.
Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Oh.
That would be an extra, you know,
And I,
fresh air for him to not to travel all the time.
Right.
Well, from where they live, it's not a horrible trip. I think it's
No,
like,
it's 45 minutes away, I think.
But when you have to do it all the time, that adds up.
It does.
So,
Absolutely does.
plus, like, just the air up there is so much better.
What's up, Nick? It is.
Hey, Nick.
It really is.
Hey, Nick.
It's kind of
but like I have to say though, I love Bill, love Bill, and I love, I love hearing stories about the place. Like I said,
She loves his clowns.
No, I know.
There's a lot of them.
But I think everybody that is involved with the place personally and on a more consistent level, I think everybody plays a part in how well places ran and how, and the activity that's there, and all that. So yes, I love him. You know what I mean? And I agree with you because, I'm going to say this and some people might get mad about it, but I don't care. It's the truth. Bill Freeman, if you guys know who he is, he was running Selma Mansion in Norristown, PA. And he passed away last year and the place isn't the same. As a matter of fact, the people that run it now are talking about even stopping paranormal stuff, so he really kept that place going. And he did, he was surrounded by a lot of people that cared about that place just as much as he did. So in hindsight, you thought if anything happened to anybody, it would still continue to be this like great, because that's how it's been built, over the years. But all it takes is one person with money and power, and that's that.
Fuck everything up.
Yeah. Well, Dan calls it my philosophical post, but like I said in my post, there are so many owners out there that will exploit the spirits in their locations.
Absolutely.
And when you have an owner that doesn't, and there's like a mutual love between the spirits and the owner.
Yeah.
When the building changes owners, you could feel that difference.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. And this is a location that you go to that you must be in a good mood. And if you're not, don't even bother coming.
No.
Yeah. Those kids will ignore you the whole time. They'll be like, nah, I'm not dealing with that.
No.
Yeah.
We're not up for the bullshit tonight. And you guys all know kids, you can't bullshit them.
Right.
So that's it.
I wonder how Destination Fear would
Hey, Jenny.
I think they do pretty well.
Like if they get themselves all, wild up and whatever, I would love to see how what they would, because they like to get themselves, in a frame of mind that just not be an even keel, whether it be fear, whether it be whatever, the condition. Yeah.
If they were looking more for the fear side of it, they could just hang out with the principal and the janitor a little bit more.
I have not experienced that yet.
Because if the janitor's done with you, he's done with you. Like, it's time to go. You need to get out, and he'll let you know it's time to go. So
see, I experienced a guy in the basement, the janitor in the basement. He scared the crap out of me and William one time. So
yeah.
But
before we move on to say something else, I want to make sure we give a shout out to Paranormal Exposures and specifically Ethan Cameroon.
Ethan.
Ethan was sprinting around the building all weekend long, doing whatever needed to be done for that con. So I want to make sure that they get the love that they deserve, because they really made it possible.
They went above and beyond, and I had been up there several times when Kat had been there, Kat Armstrong, but I never really got to sit and talk to her. And
amazing person.
She made it really fun to be there. And
awesome.
And yes, Ethan.
Awesome.
I mean that guy, he never quit moving. I looked at him one time and said, Ethan, man, go chill out. And he goes, can't, got things to do. And I
He's
mean,
young
he
yet.
needs to
That's
do.
why.
he was constantly, yeah, there's no way I could keep up with that shit.
I remember what that was like, constantly running around. Now I'm like, you go, dude.
I was
you
on the
go.
basketball court at his age. Come on.
Right.
Then, you know, I want to say Kat's daughter was running the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very
Addie.
nice. Yeah, I sat and talked to her for quite a while. Just a very nice girl, very well mannered, very well spoken.
Very creative in drawings.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, I got to agree with Larry. They really, really made the weekend successful.
Yeah.
You know,
people
And
may
Kat
not
was
know
sick too. I mean,
but
she was
she
battling
was
something.
very sick.
it.
Yeah.
They also cleaned that building from top
Yes.
to bottom.
Yeah.
Like every square inch of the building, the floors, everything was wiped down and cleaned by those guys alone.
Yes.
Yeah. They have
So-
great pride for the building and everything else that it stands for. So Bill's got some wonderful helpers with paranormal exposures.
Yeah.
So
I would
And-
love, I
and-
would love to get
and
out that way. I
Mike
hate
and Chris did a lot of stuff up there too, you know, with
Mhm.
the cleanup and stuff. And you know, I didn't
Yep.
get up there. You know, there was times that I would have liked to have got up there. My job just doesn't sometimes. And you know, I've talked to Bill on the phone. He's like, "Don't worry about it. I know how hectic your job is and stuff."
mhm.
But I still feel bad because I really wanted to be up there for him more, and I couldn't be. So
Right.
I thought
And
the
I would do
screen
the
character
same
might have
thing
been
if I
Pat.
was able to travel. I mean,
right.
you know, if my wife can't take me all the time. Yes, I don't drive very much on the highway. So
Yeah, it sucks being on the East Coast. There's so much
Mhm.
cool shit out there.
See, we feel the opposite. We feel like it sucks not being
I
on the East
know
Coast
everybody says it.
because
Every
there's so much cool shit out there.
yeah.
Here it's like, yeah, we got Broadhead. That's about it.
and you know, and quite frankly, the West doesn't really get talked about much at all unless you're
No, it
watching
doesn't.
other YouTubers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You know.
unless you're into like the mining history and stuff
Yep.
like that,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it doesn't get talked about a whole lot.
Mike just said in Facebook chat, I spent my Easter up there with Bill cleaning, and yeah,
All right,
Yeah.
Mike, we'll give you a little bit of credit.
oh, you got to give Mike a lot of credit. And I'm here to tell you guys now,
He's out there quite a bit. Yeah.
the
Yeah, he is.
highlight of my whole weekend, and you know, I met Mike last year after at the Janesville conference, and I've
Yeah.
talked to him a few times when he's been at Broadhead that I've been there, things like that. But Mike's partner Chris,
Mhm.
he and I have kind of a bromance going on after this weekend.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
He's
do.
a funny dude. He's a very
Chris
funny dude.
is a great guy. Mike's a great guy. I mean, they're both
Yeah, I love Mike.
guys. And but yeah, Chris, I mean, I told Mike on the live feed last night and today, I said, man, Mike says man crush. Yes, absolutely. He couldn't have got a better dude to work with him. You know, Chris and I were just talking, and you know, you find out how small the world is. He grew up where my cousins grew up, just not really super far from here and stuff. It was just incredible. And that's the thing. That's the thing about these Paracons is, you know, everything doesn't have to be ghosts, guys. Talk,
Right.
get to know one another, and you're going to establish friendships that will last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
It's hard not to talk about ghosts.
And that's
It is.
Mike and they are I am
You do
paranormal
get to know
together.
people.
So
You get to know
Yes.
people just through talking, and even if it is you're just talking about ghosts and haunted locations,
Sure.
you're still filling in the blank. You're still filling in between there. You're not just like, hey, yeah,
Right.
I'm from Jersey. I love ghosts and Gettysburg, and see you later. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there is combo in there, you know, and
right.
especially when you connect with somebody like you did. You know,
Right.
you follow. There's always follow up. You know, you get to know somebody.
Right.
So Amy asked who played the Scream character.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it might have been Pat. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not-
They never like came to us. I always saw them from behind, and then when they took their mask off, it looked like Pat, but I couldn't be sure.
Yeah, I never saw.
That was Bill that fixed the floor
Mhm.
on his hands and knees, replacing each individual piece of wood, hand
Oh,
by
yeah.
hand by hand by hand.
Yeah,
row by row.
Bill worked. Bill
He was
worked
in
there.
construction for 30 years, right?
Yes. Well, Bill actually did fiber optics.
Okay.
Oh, sounds
Um,
fancy.
Bill is a very, very smart, intelligent guy, and he has a photographic memory.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
He remembers everything he looks at, and
That is, I'm so
Well,
jealous of those people.
yeah. I wish I would have had a photographic memory.
I mean, it's an
I
amazing.
used to be like that younger. I ain't
quality.
like that anymore.
Yeah, me too.
I fish to find
Um,
birds.
Jenny, I love the East Coast. I just hate New Jersey. Sorry.
Joyzy.
Yeah.
Josie.
That's
yeah.
why it only takes an hour to get out of Jersey. You just go any direction, you find something better.
Mike
Yeah.
says it was one of the guys from T3 who was one of the sponsors of the event.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I
So-
didn't get to run into those guys very much either.
No, we didn't get to talk to him at all, hardly. I did say hi to him. They were running around and interviewing different people
Yeah.
for something they're putting together because of the sponsorship. But yeah, I didn't get to talk to him much, but they seem like pretty good guys. So
Yeah.
Shout out to Ajing. She's watching from
Hey,
Indonesia.
Jing.
Wow.
Love you.
hey, how are you?
Indonesia.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that, like I said, it was a great Paracon, and can't wait for 2024.
And
it
warmer
will be
weather.
in May,
Yeah.
and next year, me and my wife actually. Hey, Marsha, just talking about you. We were talking about on our way back about us getting a booth next year. So
You should.
Yeah.
So-
absolutely.
I think that'd be awesome to be part of that. So I just want to say thank you to Bill for putting on a great Paracon with Nick Sarlo and the Paraflix crew and everybody else.
Yeah.
You all did a wonderful job. And like I said, it was a smooth con.
Well,
And,
there was one hiccup on Friday.
There was.
Dan, go ahead and share that story.
So my son came up with me on Friday.
Oh, I saw the picture on Facebook.
Yeah, he's not much into the paranormal, but he wanted to go up and show Natalie that, hey, I support what Dad does.
Yeah,
And my son's 17 years old. He looks like he's 24. He's 205 pounds, 6'2", and built like
He's
a
a
brick.
buff dude. He could
He's
easily pass for the WWE.
So he wanted to go up and show her his shirt and stuff, and that he supports us. And so when he finally got to meet Natalie and have his picture taken with her, he was really excited about that. But he thought it was funnier than hell that Larry hijacked the Bluetooth because they were playing. Mike and Chris and Larry and I and my son were all sitting, in our little area back there because we had gotten set up and we're like, okay, we're set up.
Yeah.
And they were playing some weird music.
Aren't they all at that age?
And Mike and I looked at each other and I told Mike, I said, somebody should hijack that signal. And Larry goes, well, funny you say that. And you hear the ting. So he got it. He got the Bluetooth, and he starts jamming some AC/DC, and we're just back there laughing. And because finally we had some awesome music.
I'd have been like, New Kids on the Block. Let's go.
Yeah,
Throwing a
right.
little rush.
Well, the best part
Rush
was
movie.
they're up there on stage going,
They're
trying to
all
figure out where
looking
it's coming from.
What in the hell is going on here? Yeah, Jenny was there.
Oh, man. The funny thing was Chris was looking the way he was seating, he could see Bill, and then
Yeah.
Bill was talking to somebody, and when I started AC/DC, he looks over the stage and goes, yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
goes back to talking.
So who was in charge of the music?
I
Ah.
think Patrick was setting up the projector and the video system and the microphone. They were testing it out and everything, and I totally just hijacked it and screwed it up for them.
Mike says, I don't care what anyone says. That's epic.
It was pretty funny. It was funny.
Yeah,
Let's
it
see,
was
he's
a
from, Dangerous from Sector 12 Paranormal. Good group.
Danger close. Hey, how you doing?
I forgot to say Matt Waddell is on here too listening, so he's on the Twitch
Hey,
stream.
Matt.
I'm
So
gonna use this hand so people can see it.
oh, do you want me to get the pictures up real quick?
Sure.
Sure.
I love
Okay.
these two pictures.
Back out of here.
You're
and-
being all techie, Darren.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Hey, I'm working with myself, you know. There we go.
Look at
This
you.
was
That
such
was
a
that was the
hilarious
best
picture.
picture all weekend.
So,
I was like, just
this is actually
goofing.
Dan's idea. Dan's idea was like, we should have Jenny up on our arms like this. And I'm like, okay. My first question is, Jen, where am I supposed to put my hands? Like, where?
I gotta
where
be
can-
careful
Like,
here.
hold her with your like forearms, and you're like this. You know, with
Right.
your
And I'm
hands
like, okay, my hand is flat against her stomach.
Was there any dirty dancing going on here now? Come on.
No, but
while
there
they're
was a
taking the
conga line.
picture.
There was a conga line.
I saw that go through.
But yeah, it was such a fun picture.
And
I
we'll talk about it when we get into how we brought the cast together and stuff. But
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Jen is
And then here's this one.
us with the bosses.
us with the
Unfortunately,
boss ladies.
Steve's vehicle had to go into the shop.
Love
He wasn't
that.
able to make
Boss
Saturday,
ladies. That's how it is.
but it would have been great to have him in this picture too.
I'm here to tell you guys, and I'm not just saying it because Larry's known me for a long time. I am not a great ass kisser at all.
No.
Not at all.
13 years.
I would probably be much farther along in my work if I was a better ass kisser. However,
That was great to save on
that's-
You
this
and me
side.
both. Trust me.
I
True.
don't have to.
True.
I don't.
He did a
have
lot more
to
rank.
I don't have to kiss it. Natalie and Patty are two of the best people I have ever met in my life. They are truly, just a couple of genuinely nice people, and they do care. When you see Natalie post something, love you guys. She's being honest. She really loves everybody that's part of Paraflix, and a lot of people that even aren't part of Paraflix.
Mhm.
Right.
And I've never met anybody who's more genuine. And I've teased Natalie all weekend long, and even on these live feeds, because she was on our live feed last night until it ended. And do you ever sleep? 3:00 in the morning, I'll wake up or something, and Natalie has posted like 20 things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, when does she sleep?
I made a joke. I made a joke on our live because after the con was over, we went out to dinner with Natalie, Patty, and Diet Renee, who is my new BFF. Dan got replaced. He replaced
really
me.
cool.
I replaced him. It worked out great. But we went with the three of them, me, Dan, and Jen. And I know Natalie is not a vampire because she had spaghetti and there was
And
garlic
she
in
hates
it.
her dog. Yeah,
So originally it's like she doesn't sleep. Maybe
Yeah.
she's a vampire. Nope, she's not a vampire.
she is
Not
not
a
a vampire.
But Jen might
Virgil
be.
Green from Manchester. Hey, Virgil.
I'm pretty sure
Hey,
Jen's a
Virgil.
vampire.
Yeah,
Well-
it was a good time, and I had a blast talking to her because I never met her before. And when we were done talking, she's like, "So when are you gonna put your submission in?" I'm like, well, I have to find a photographer and a video. I have the video guy, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say I never sleep and I eat pasta. I could still be a vampire.
Still could. You still could.
Virgil says, "Do zombies go to heaven?"
I
don't
depends on
think
which
so,
heaven
'cause-
you're looking at.
because they're still here. You know,
Well,
like
if they're a zombie, I'm assuming they're already somewhere.
Yeah,
You know,
I would say
their
yes.
spirit is already somewhere.
Yeah,
unless it's the warm bodies zombie where they're still in there.
that was that movie
Where's that
sucked.
from?
I like that movie.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
funny.
I know you like that movie.
You
I
have
like
a-
Dang,
Well,
I
you have
just
a
went and
blast.
saw the was it the new Exorcist movie?
Oh, was it good?
How was that?
Pope's
Oh,
Exorcist?
Yes, the Pope's Exorcist. Fantastic.
I heard
Russell
he
Crowe did a
was
great job.
amazing.
I heard it
Awesome.
was really good.
I am so excited for it. I cannot wait to see it.
Tomorrow
A lot
night I'm
of-
going to go see Evil Dead. So
A lot of people for Russell Crowe made comparisons to
Look at
Anthony
that.
Hopkins
Really?
and the right about how good he did.
mhm.
Really?
That
Because
beard
Anthony
fit him
Hopkins in
so
the
well.
right was great.
I heard Russell Crowe in real life is a dick, but he's a phenomenal actor.
well,
I
he's
mean, when you think
Australian.
about all the stuff he is in. I mean, Gladiator.
Well, what actor isn't?
True.
What? What actor isn't what?
But
What
yeah,
actor isn't a dick?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
If-
there's some that
if-
are nice.
if
They
people
all
were
have their
out
days just
hounding
like
you
us.
every day, all day for photographs and autographs and all that stuff, it'd be
I don't
get
think
kind of
they're
annoyed.
all.
Marcia says Russell was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Yes, it was good.
I
the
think he's
beard
a good
fit him
actor.
really well.
Which
Yeah.
the reason he was playing in it, I was actually I was excited after I knew he was going to be in it. I was like, oh no, I definitely want to see it because I think he's a great actor. He's
Yeah.
not as good as Leo and
Leo who? Leo
DiCaprio.
Rush?
Leonardo DiCaprio is pretty damn
Oh,
good.
that
too.
guy. Oh yeah,
He
I forgot
is
about him.
Don't even
one of my
hate.
favorite movies with
He's
him.
my
and
favorite.
it's a weird movie, so no judgment, but it's Django Unchained.
No, it's a great
Oh,
movie.
okay.
That's not weird. That's an awesome movie.
Django's awesome.
It's an amazing movie.
Inception is good for me.
Favorite part was
Inception's
when
amazing.
he slammed his hand on the table and really cut his hand
Yes.
and just
In real life,
went
he
with
really
it.
did it.
He really seriously cut his own hand, but he
just went with it.
finished the scene, and that's the one they used because it was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, but
Now,
I can't
as for Evil Dead Rise, though, I was telling Dan about this.
skipping that one.
The woman that plays the mom,
Mhm.
the special effects, the makeup, and then the way that she moves her body is incredible.
I'm waiting
She
for it, man.
is such a great actress, and her facial features when they've got all the stuff on her face, she looks creepy.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
I heard it's very gory and very, very good.
Yeah.
I got my tickets today and I got my popcorn today, so I'm ready for tomorrow.
I think you're gonna enjoy it.
Oh yeah, my son wants to see it, so I was like, "Dad, are we going this Friday?" I'm like, "No, we're not going Friday. We'll go Tuesday.
Tuesday,
$6 Tuesday tickets."
$6 Tuesday. Yep.
Gotta save
So-
money where we can because everything else is going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into how did the team get together, and did you guys have paranormal experiences before all that happened to bring you guys together?
Dan, you can kind of cover this one.
Yeah, my first paranormal experience is when I was 13 here in my hometown. I'm in a little town about smack dab between DeKalb and Rockford. If you stretched a string out on a map and put your finger in the middle, that's where I'm at as the crow flies. On Route 72 or Higgins Road in Chicago, turns into 72 out here. And it's a typical frontier town. It was established in 1880. And there was a lot of buildings up in the downtown area that are no longer there. So anyway, one night I was going uptown. I was about 13 years old to go to the local record store at the time because that's where we all went to play video games.
Dan was
And
around
as
when
I
the
was
town was founded.
Yeah, I was. So I was walking up one side of the street, and on the other side of the street was a shadowy figure wearing a drover's coat and a hat,
Ooh.
from that time.
Or it
And
could've been
he
like
was kind of
Men in
keeping
Black.
pace. What's that?
I said, or it could have been like a Men in Black.
Well, it could have been, but he got up to a certain point of the building and turned and walked right through the door, and the door was locked and closed.
That's cool.
So
And
he
you
never.
saw that.
But my feeling now, looking back at it, was it a residual haunt, and he was just going through that door in his time? I don't know. Hey, Nick.
Hey,
Well,
Nick.
I'm a man in black.
Larry-
I had a black flannel on Saturday.
Yeah, they're supposed to be matching Saturday. They weren't.
Hi,
Nick,
Bill.
Hey, Bill.
I sent you a picture, Nick, and you did.
Hey, Bill.
Black, Nick.
Hey, Christy.
We
Hey,
had a
Christy.
thing.
Hi,
We had a
Christy.
thing. Oh well, it's okay. It's okay. People still thought we were at least cousins, so I'll take it.
They did. And Nick, I can tell you that they all felt really bad for you if you were Larry's cousin. Just saying.
So, Larry, how did you get into all this stuff?
Oh boy. So my first experience was when I was a kid. My parents' house was originally a single bedroom farmhouse, and then when they got it, and then when I was a kid, they expanded on it. So I lived in the expansion, and my dad
Chris!
had. Oh
Hey,
boy.
Chris.
Here we go. My dad had made this massive kind of a bunk bed, but the bottom half was a desk. And it was tall enough for me at 6'2" to stand underneath it. So the bed portion was really high. And I remember numerous times this little kid in a red coat would do this over the railing, and the railing had to have been 7 or 8 feet up. So, I'm sitting here and all of a sudden I just see this face come up, and that was my first time experiencing stuff like that. And I moved out, I did the army thing. I disappeared for a while,
Mm-hmm.
took a
Doing
couple
this
plane
on, right?
rides, and I came home and I got into the paranormal. I'm a large 6'2". Yeah. I got into the paranormal by debunking it. So
Okay.
I was on the Bachelor's Grove forums website back when forums were still a thing.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
people would submit images and videos, and I'd basically debunk it. And somebody invited me out because they were tired of me debunking their stuff.
Right.
So we went to Scott Mansion in Joliet, Illinois, and I've been investigating ever since. I got hooked.
Yeah. It only takes one
So-
time.
Well, I could explain everything until I got there, and I'm like, what was that? What was that? What was
Mhm.
that? So here I
Is
am.
Grove the one where the house keeps moving?
Awesome.
The house-
Bachelor's Grove.
Oh, well, that's one of the stories, but there's like a lot of other cemeteries have that same story. Even Blood's Point has a similar story, doesn't it, Dan? Of a house that appears and disappears.
It does, and yes, Nick.
What? A full
Penthouse
house?
Forums with
Forums
Dan.
Forums
Yeah.
are
I know. I
still
was
a thing.
laughing at this, so I missed the beginning of it. But they're like a house
Woo!
appear and disappear.
So supposedly
Yes.
Bachelor's Grove is now a forest preserve, but there used to be a road with houses that went along it.
Mhm.
And people had experienced a house being there at night in the middle of the woods, and then during the day it's gone. Or they'll
What?
come back on a different day and the house is no longer there.
It's like Blair Witch or some shit.
Or
Yeah.
it's somewhere else within the forest.
But if
preserve.
you go out there, there's
It's-
still foundations of all these old houses though. So it's really neat.
Has anybody
Right.
just left a video camera out there or anything? Like
Not-
or a
not
trail?
as- Not as far as I know.
I
now
know
it is
Mike
highly
Rickseker's been
illegal
out
to
there.
be out there at night. So
No, it'd be like but if you put like a trail cam out, you necessarily don't have to be out there with it.
sure,
Sure.
to my knowledge, no, but I also haven't really looked.
Yeah.
But that was kind of how I
Yeah,
got into it, and then I showed up to a random investigation that Dan was hosting a public on not online, but it was like a Facebook event he had put out saying, hey,
Right.
come and meet up here, and I went, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll hang out with this guy for 13 years. And I'm
So
My
still
Dan,
life
you
has
were
been
like
hell.
you were in a group and you were like having like a public event.
Yeah, we had a team called Small Town Paranormal years ago, and yeah, we were just hosting a public ghost hunt, and quite a few people showed up, and lo and behold, this guy shows up, and we hit it off, and there you go.
Love at first sight. Right?
No, no,
yeah, well,
Chris is my bromance. Larry was really a
Get up to the beard and say, "Hey, Larry."
no, Larry was just we had a lot in common. And
when
now
Dan
there's
and I met, I
16
didn't
years
have a beard.
between, no, he didn't. There's 16 years between Larry and I mean,
Mhm.
and for somebody with that
Hey, Laurie.
much of an age gap to have that much in common, I guess it was meant to be. Yes, I
Right.
was just going to say that, Lori, is the stairs to nowhere that are appearing at all these national forests and stuff.
Mhm.
5 miles into the woods, I think, is what the key is.
Yeah. As Chris says, bring the beard back. I actually am growing the beard until I have to shave it on Friday. So,
But he could bring the mustache back, Chris.
and
I
look like
if his
such.
man crush says to do it, he just might.
Well, now I may have to bring the mustache back. I don't know.
I told you.
And
I told you.
Darren's promotional picture, I had that goofy looking mustache, and
Sure did.
Yeah. That's a good picture, though.
I think
It's a
so.
good
it's
picture.
all right.
I
That's
always
all
tell him, you look good with the mustache. You got to keep it, and he always gets rid of it.
Well, I'd like to see the Raleigh Fingers version.
Yeah, just twist it and curl
Just
it.
twist it and get the curls.
Get some wax and just do like one of these numbers and go
Like
straight
I'm,
up.
Oh.
like I'm planning something.
Yeah, do a snidely
Yeah,
whiplash.
Mutton chops. Yeah.
That's right. See.
So,
Remember-
I'll
what-
see what I can work out, Chris. I'll see what I can work out, brother.
so
What
how
are you
did
guys- are you guys
did
doing
Jenny
any-
get involved and
up?
stuff? I'm sorry.
What?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We were talking at the same time.
We both were-
All right.
Go ahead, Darren. It's your show.
I was just gonna say is how did Jenny and
Steve.
Steve and how they all come into the picture?
Well, Steve came in
Well-
first, then kind of the same time I did.
Yeah. Steve and his mom used to come out to all of the events when we were Small Town Paranormal. And
Okay.
Steve just lost his mom last year, unfortunately, but
Mhm.
she was a great lady. And like I said, they never missed one event that we ever put on.
That's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
after Larry came along and we kind of dissolved Small Town Paranormal and started a new team, the Ghost Hunter Dan Project, it just made sense to bring Steve on. I mean, he was there all the time anyway, so
It's like the Alan
we-
Parsons project, but with ghosts.
yes. And Steve's been with us ever since, and he's a great guy. Steve doesn't say a whole lot, but if there's some creepy ass place that you want somebody to go to, Steve's the first to go. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll go.
Nothing scares him. I mean,
Mhm.
it could be filled with spider webs, and if you were creeped out by spiders or whatever, Steve would go, "Yeah, I'll do it."
That's
And then Jenny had her own show on YouTube called The Wisconsin Files, and
Mhm.
it was her and a friend of hers, Laura, and they were kind of out doing their own thing. So I was browsing YouTube one night and caught The Wisconsin Files, and I was watching some of their stuff, and I just watched their stuff for probably about 4 months just to see what they did and how they did it and things like that. And Larry and I had decided last year that we were going to shoot a documentary about Bloods Point Road and Bloods Point Cemetery, and we invited our friend Miranda Young to come and host it. So we didn't want. Now Miranda does her own show, Ghost Biker Explorations, and she's
Mhm.
phenomenal investigator. But we wanted Miranda to host the show, not investigate as well. So I told Larry, I said, I've been watching these two girls on the Wisconsin Files. I think they would foot the bill for investigating the cemetery for us. And we invited them down. They did the photo shoot. They did the investigation. They killed it. And Larry and I talked a little bit. Jen was able to come back down with us about a week later. And we invited her out to dinner, took her to dinner, and said, "Hey, by the way, would you guys like to be part of Expedition Entity?"
Mhm.
And they graciously accepted. However, unfortunately, Laura had things in her life that it didn't work out to where
Right.
she just couldn't show up. And we all have that. She has little kids and stuff, and so we had to
Mhm.
part ways on good terms. And it's just now Jen, Larry, and Steve and I, and it's been really it's worked out really well.
That's awesome.
Jen and I are in front of the camera most of the time. We really complement each other well. We're both empathic. So if I'm feeling something at a location and it starts bleeding over onto Jen or vice versa, we investigate together really, really
Boiler
well.
room,
And we
Broadhead.
just love Jenny. She's
Manor.
something else. So
and it's
and of course I am old enough to be her dad, so it's more of a father looking over, and my daughter can tell you how overprotective I am. So
Mhm.
there's one of the videos with us with Jenny, and Yeah, she's great. I mean, I can't say enough about Jen. So.
All right, so
Wow.
let me see.
This was the first investigation we
rewind it.
did outside of the documentary.
So we're in the boiler room at Broadhead Manor, and it's me, Larry, and Jen. Quit touching me. And we are doing a ghost box session.
Oh, I
So
feel like
before we begin,
I did see
I just
this.
want to add, that was me that hit your bag, that this room has a lot of activity in it.
Oh, got quiet.
What's it doing?
Well, that's okay. We can skip the end of it. The funny part was the beginning where, you know, Dan went, quit touching me, and then Jen went, "Eh."
That's funny. That's funny.
So
I think
that
the
was our
funniest part-
first investigation with Jen, really, and it was such a good time.
That's awesome.
Jen,
what-
Jen has. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
Oh, Jen has that little thing where she always winks at the camera and goes. And
Jen
shoots
leaves me little
and
surprises on the camera sometimes.
She does.
We'll be setting something up, and Dan will be like, "All right, so that mic's going, and if I look at Jen, she'll be looking at one of the cameras, and she'll make some kind of face, or
that's
she'll
all
just be
the,
sitting there and she just.
I do that to all the like the cameras of the checkouts at the self checkouts. Like I just look up and go, you know, make a face, do something, you know, just so they remember it. Send me
I
my
swear
desk-
she
my
does
desk.
that stuff knowing when to find it.
Right, right.
Oh, absolutely, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Larry teases
So-
her and says, "You are the younger female version of Dan," because I mess with
Oh.
him constantly.
100%.
Thank you, Jamie Lynn. Jamie Lynn says, "You're just as lovable, Dan." Thank you. Somebody
She's-
appreciates me.
She is the shorter,
fun to
younger version of
investigate
Dan.
So what was the
Paranormal
first
Hey, guys.
sorry. What was the first paranormal
No, you're good.
investigation you guys did as a team?
Which team?
Larry and I
Oh,
are
what's-
all of us.
All of you guys for
Like Okay,
the whole crew of Expedition Entity.
okay. The new crew was the Hanging Bride Bridge.
Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, which for that they weren't officially on the cast yet. Jen and Laura were guest investigators for the bridge, but they represented the Wisconsin files. But
Mhm.
you know, at that point, we'd already signed them for the next season. So,
Yeah.
but it was great.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Darren,
Yeah.
don't block it. Let it happen. That guy. That's commenting.
Oh, I don't even have the comments up.
All right, good. So don't look at them.
Yeah,
Some weirdo.
Yeah, the weirdo.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Yes. So
Oh well.
lots of people out there in the world.
Yes.
yes. Anyway, I apologize. Darren's having an issue with someone, and you know now he has evidence of who it is. So
I got you.
Yeah.
No worries.
Oh well.
No worries.
So with that, I apologize. So what do you guys have coming up? What is like, you know, I mean, is Broadhead your main place that you guys are at? Is that like, you know how, you know, some teams will go to the
not
same,
really.
you know, like they have like their one place that it's kind of like their home.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you
you
know,
could look at it that way.
you could kind of, but you know, people used to call us the Veterans Memorial Hall guys too, because we had investigated that several times.
Yeah.
You know, homes where you hang your hat, but you know, I mean, Broadhead Manor is got a special place in our heart, but so does Tinker Swiss Cottage, so does the Veterans Memorial Hall. You know, we've done the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb a couple times. You know, so it just Broadhead, the location itself isn't so much as it is Bill and the friendships that we've that we've created because of Broadhead Manor, and the spirits of Broadhead Manor are really what's the big thing. But like I said, it's the same thing when we go to the Vets Hall. It's always kind of like coming home there too, and especially for Larry being a vet. So
That's awesome.
So we're going to be returning to Broadhead to do the third floor in the 5th season, which we announced at our talk the other day. But other than that, we'll go and help Bill out anytime he ever needs it. If he's ever having a public ghost hunt, I'm available. I would definitely help him out. Larry and I have in the past. Mike does. I know that Paranormal Exposures goes up there a lot and does. Other people do as well. And
Ethan's there all the time.
All the time.
Ethan is there all the time. So I mean, that speaks volumes about Bill. But I know that, many times when Kathy Kressel at Haunted Rockford is running an event, the guys from Ghost Head Soup are really, really good at Tinker Swiss Cottage. And, Larry and I usually get to do the Vets Hall and they do Tinker Swiss Cottage. And then when they do their flip flop, then the other group comes and investigates with us, and our group goes and investigates with Ghost Head Soup. And, it's really cool to have, the people that do events in the area or have a location be comfortable enough to ask us to come out and do that. And it's really humbling, because we love to do it. I have a really good time doing it and just talking to the people. And it seems like, we've had our nose to the grindstone this year, especially. I mean, we got one more episode to shoot and season 3 is a wrap.
That's awesome.
Last year we hadn't even shot episode 1 of season 2. So
we
decided we weren't going to do that again, and we haven't. So
do you guys have a return place on the show? Like, do you guys go to in any of the 5 seasons, is it like, oh, we have to go back here? Like you've done repeats?
Season 1 kind of started everything. Season 2, we did a repeat of the Vets Hall from season 1. Season 3, we did a repeat of Broadhead from season 1.
Okay.
Season 4, our plan right now, I don't think we have a repeat planned.
No, I think
everything's going to be new.
Hey, Tom.
I think everything in season 4 will be a new location.
That's awesome. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere where you guys want to go?
Oh, geez.
That you haven't been yet?
The museum.
Well, the museum definitely. The problem we have is, especially after cons, like 40 people come up and be like, I got a spot. I want to film with you. Let's make something happen. And it's like, oh, add to the list. So it's hard to get everything done that you want to, because we only do 6 a year.
There's so many locations. You can always,
Gettysburg.
Well,
Gettysburg will never be an Expedition Entity episode, and I'll tell you why. Is because it would be 7 hours long.
I would watch
it. I would
watch it.
I'd film for a week straight, and I'd be like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'd have to make like a special Expedition Entities documentary and be like, this is what I got.
You would have like 2 seasons of stuff right there.
100%. 100%. We'll call this the Expedition Entity 7-hour special on Gettysburg.
There you go.
But Alexa chimed in.
I heard her.
No, stop.
Expedition Entity goes to Gettysburg.
You tell me that Amazon isn't listening to us all.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Right.
Trust me, if we could ever go out there, Dan and I have plans. We will go one day, and we have plans for special little things we're going to do there. Whether we're allowed to or not, we'll see. But if we ever get to go, something's going to happen there. We're going to film it, and it'll do something. It might be a standalone doc that has the crew of Expedition Entity, but we'll see.
It's definitely It's amazing. It is amazing. You guys have got to.
The-
Sorry, this is gonna block you guys out, but
Where am I at?
There, Larry.
Disappeared. Help!
that person I met online watching his YouTube channel. He was doing a great job. And would he mind a sub seeing brand new? He came back and said, I don't play those games. You either like me and watch me or not. I don't sub to other paranormal groups. Oh. Well,
Okay, so
that's not
it's a little weird.
I don't
I mean-
I don't disagree. I would say that person is a weakest link in the chain to be, in a positive community. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
that's what it's for. You network,
Yeah.
you promote each other, you help each other out, you work together.
Put each other
Right.
over.
It's not like subbing to somebody's channel means you're paying them $30 a month.
Right.
It's
Right.
a notification.
Mhm.
Right.
Do the sub for sub.
Yep.
And you never know, you might like it.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
it's weird to
Absolutely.
be like, no, I don't do sub for sub. You need to like me for me, and that's it. Okay, well then I'm not going to like you. Next,
Right.
Well,
and it's also like, I mean, it's insane. Like every time I do it, it's just an automatic, whenever, I mean, I'll sub to somebody's page, they'll sub right back. And it's like, that's awesome. Helping
Right.
each other out. Look,
yeah,
I'm not going to get rich off of YouTube. So what the heck, you know what I mean? Like it's just,
well, the
that's
thing is there's still a lot of people out there who, want to play like they're in high school and you've got a crush on my girlfriend or you got a crush on my boyfriend people. And apparently that's who you ran into, is somebody like that.
yeah.
And,
Mhm.
like I said earlier, I'm the world's worst ass kisser and I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass. So, never have, and
You
I'm
didn't
not
even
about to
kiss
start
mine.
now.
Well,
Too
people like
old.
that don't make
Pick
it far.
Pick a spot, Larry, you're all ass. But the point of the matter is it shouldn't be like that. I'll trade a sub for I've got paranormal real estate. I've had those same kind of messages, and it's like, dude, I'll check it out, and if I like it, I'll sub. If I don't, I don't. And if you don't want to sub to me, I don't give a shit. Fine, don't. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't give a damn. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
So Chris says it's called mutual respect, and it is.
It
Mhm.
is
And
for sure.
you're not going to like. Last night on our live feed, I said, if you subscribe to Paraflix and look, there's a lot of shows on there. You may not like what Larry and I do, and that's fine. But there's a lot of other stuff on there that you may like. You may
Mhm.
you may go and look at some of their stuff and not like them and like us more. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not here to make the believer a skeptic or the skeptic a believer or make people like me. I'm just here because Larry and I want to put out the best show that we can possibly put out, show you guys some of the less well-known places. And if we adhere to that and keep working to the level that we've been working at, we should have no problem to continue to do that, whether people like us or not.
Well,
Now,
and that's the
I
thing.
will-
I don't know how
Okay.
somebody like that gets anywhere because, I mean,
Yeah.
You put yourself
you're
in
not,
a corner when you're like that.
well, yeah, but and you're not learning, you're not growing, you're not meeting people, you're not going, you're not seeing places to go and making connections and going to Paracons and having, you know what I mean? Like you keep yourself. So I don't know anybody like that is successful.
Well,
mean,
those are the same
that's
people that they send you a friend request and you're like, oh, okay, you do the paranormal. You accept it. And then they send you 14-page invites. And half of them are like some person's art gallery, a book reading club. No,
Right,
delete. You're gone. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like each team you learn enough from to move on to another team to learn and to learn from there. It's all about learning. It's never going to stop in the paranormal field.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. That's just how it works. You're always going to learn.
I
And
don't
it-
know
and
what
it-
people are going to learn from us, but hopefully it's something good.
Well, I mean, they could look at your filming, how you
Yeah.
film stuff.
True. Dan
mean,
and
they
have
can look at that
very
aspect of
different
it.
filming style for Expedition Entity. It's not one that you commonly see.
Right.
Listen, and everybody has a way and a unique way of investigating. They do things differently.
Right.
I love watching people
It's
investigate.
good to
and
be different.
and seeing how people do different techniques and then trying them.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Well,
love that.
And I had a discussion with Jay Hill today. Jay and Shane interviewed us here just last week, and he and I were talking, and I said, you know, Jay, I said the thing about it is when Larry and I go to a location, somebody from that location comes onto the show with us
Hey, Michelle.
and is part of the episode. And then hi Michelle. And then, you know, sometimes we have guests and we kind of showcase the way they do stuff
Mhm.
and put them a little bit more front and center than us. And then we kind of implement, you know, our stuff with theirs. And, you know, guys, if we just all quit acting like 3-year-olds and play nice, you're going to find out this is going to be a much better field to be in. And
100%.
romper rooms, you
You
know,
know-
there's
Yeah.
still some people out there that treat this like romper room, and it's not right.
Well, they treat it like early 2000s paranormal field, where the paranormal sucked back then.
Yeah.
Everyone was cutthroat,
It
they were
did.
territorial. It was the worst. And some of those people, well, a lot of them got out of it because they didn't get their kicks like they wanted to. But
Mhm.
some of these new people coming in have that same mentality, and it's like, no, you need to stay away,
Well, and then
or
you
you
have
need to
people
fix yourself.
that went away and then all of a sudden pop back up. And you're
Yeah,
like,
that too. Yeah.
and
like-
the people that are new don't know them from back then.
Right.
Right.
They don't know that they're, you know, not in
They're
this,
assholes.
not that they're not good. They're not here for the right reasons and not,
Right.
you know, doing us any good. And they latch onto them, you know, and it's like, and then they just don't go away. And you're like,
one of
it's like-
the things that I
oh,
think the best thing that could have happened
hero.
was Travel Channel started cutting shows,
yeah,
because people have now gotten the idea that, well, the paranormal's on a downswing now, which means that the people that are chasing the fame to get on Travel Channel, maybe those people will take a break too.
yeah.
And the people that just enjoy it with no thoughts about being on Discovery, maybe those people can now shine.
Very true. Very true. So
Yeah.
let's get into a different topic here.
Mm.
Your book.
Oh, that's a great book.
Yes.
And I'll leave it up there just for people to get to see what the book is.
Afterlife Anthology, an anthology of 16 short stories written by Dan the Man himself. And I edited him, cleaned him up. We worked a few things to make it better in an anthology format. But these are all his stories. And the majority of them are from the ghost's perspective.
Mhm.
Some of them, they start as a ghost and kind of go on a ghostly journey. Other ones, they start alive and then die and then continue on as a ghost and figure things out. And then a couple of them, they're alive, they die, and then they get like resuscitated. And there's just a
cool.
lot of different journeys that the main characters go through, and dozens of different themes. And from what everybody has told us, there's always one story that really captures them, and they go, "That's my story. That's the one that I like." And
Catch it on Amazon.
even we have
Get your
favorite
copy
stories.
today.
Yeah, you can get a copy on Amazon.
So these
But
are
it won't be
Yeah, but
autographed
at our-
unless you go
whenever
to a
booths.
con.
these
That's
are
right.
this is like made up, like you made the all these like stories up, different stories, almost like
Yes.
scary stories to tell in the dark. They have different. I'm not saying it's
Um,
like that, but you know what I'm saying, the format and stuff like that.
It's kind
Or is
of
it one continuous?
some of it. No, they're all just short stories. They all have a conclusion except for the last story, because that's
Okay.
that's coming out in the next book. But which that story is called Double Jack. That's Larry's favorite story, and it gets
That one's
pretty
mine.
damn dark.
Whenever I read that
but
story, I always picture a noir, and I love noir films.
yeah. I when I wrote those, it was at different times. I pulled on different periods of my life. I mean, I was a firefighter for 16 years. I was a paramedic for 6. I've now been a corrections officer for 17 years. Right after that, and you know, I've pulled from life experiences, from things that I've seen on the ambulance or
Thank you for your
seen on a
service,
fire scene. I thank you. I think that I would rather thank Larry for his service,
Oh,
but
don't thank me.
and everybody out there who's a
Don't thank me. I'm good.
but anyway, it's pulled from those life experiences, and some of those stories are loosely based on things that Larry and I have experienced over the years. And I just kind of put them in a story. Now, my favorite story is Forgotten Country. And I'll give you a little synopsis.
We're over here name dropping stories for Darren.
What's that?
We're name dropping stories for Darren.
A Civil War soldier dies.
That one, yeah.
On the field, knows he's dead, but before he goes into the light, he wants to go and see President Lincoln, just to cast eyes on the man. And some of the things that he sees as a ghost on his way there is very appalling. And he starts to question, why are we really fighting this war? What's the final outcome going to be? Because understand, he died before the war was over and before the North won.
Right.
And when he finally gets there, the twist is what happens when he gets to see President Lincoln. So
that's
all about the journey. It's all about the journey.
I love movies like that. Like it's like The Others, right? Like, did you ever see that movie?
That one still scares me a little bit.
I've never seen it. I've never seen The Others.
You gotta say it. It's really good. Really, really good. But that's what reminds me of. So I know I'm gonna look to get your book, because that sounds like something that I would love to read for sure.
That'd be great.
Once again, available on Amazon.
Yes. They're a volunteer firefighter. So thank you for your service. Out of the 16 years I was a firefighter, I was a volunteer for 14 of them. So now people will say, oh, so you were a professional firefighter? No, I was a career firefighter. Professionalism is an attitude. It's not an amount of money you're paid. Just remember that.
That applies to paranormal.
The guy
absolutely.
Yes, the guy who's the volunteer firefighter, fire doesn't discriminate, bud. It will eat you just like it will eat a career firefighter. So don't let anybody ever make you feel like you're less, because you're not. You're putting on your gear. You're going into those burning buildings just like they do. It's just you ain't getting paid for it.
And think about that. I mean, think about that. Not, you know what I mean? Like, that says something about someone. You know what I mean? Because
we're the guys running in when everyone else is running out.
Yeah. That's why I have the utmost respect for military, police, firefighters, first responders, even people in the medical field, and teachers.
Absolutely.
Nowadays. I mean, even teachers, because every day you go to work every day, and you don't know how your day is going to go, and if you're going to get home in time for dinner,
right?
Or at all.
Yeah.
So
school has been flipped on its head since late 90s.
School's a very weird thing right now. All these shootings and not to get too far off topic, but
right.
It's wild what's going on.
Yeah, but you know what, guys? This is life, because a lot of those things turn into a paranormal situation later. So I say talk about them, but here's the thing. Look at how much anxiety your kids are under now going to school, because they don't know if they're going to come home.
Right.
I mean,
so much under scrutiny.
Absolutely. Jay and I were talking about it today. I said, Jay, I get up in the morning, I put on my uniform, I strap my gun to my side, I head to work, and I don't know if I'm going to, my daughter's away at school, but I say goodbye to my son every morning. I don't know if I'm going to see him I don't know if I'm coming home tonight. That's it. It's the anxiety starts from the minute I put that gun on and walk out the door until I safely walk back through the door. And a friend of mine is studying this because there's PTSD. We all know about that. But firefighters, paramedics, corrections officers, cops, nurses, doctors, he's doing a big study. He's a doctor over in Ireland, and he's calling it TSD. And it's a continuous thing over a number of years of service. So Larry was in the service for how long, Larry?
10 years.
10 years. And when he was in Afghanistan for 18 months, 2 years, what was it?
Just about a year. Just about.
Okay, so he was in Afghanistan for a year, and this is what my buddy pointed out. He said when the soldier leaves, unless they have to go back, their service is done at that point. They're not going to go back into a war situation. He goes, but when a cop's on the street, he's in a war situation every day for 20, 25, 30 years.
Mhm.
Doctors and ER doctors in the same boat, a firefighter, a paramedic, a corrections officer. I mean, my profession is the highest rate of suicide for a civilian type job in the whole United States right now. Corrections officers are killing themselves at record rates.
Oh,
And it's because
Crazy stuff.
you're locked in with them. You know, guys, when I walk in and that door locks behind me for the next 12 hours, I'm locked in their world. It's not my world.
right.
So,
Right. I hear
Yeah.
you.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say let's get into the fun questions real quick, and then
I like fun questions.
we'll start to wrap it up. So, my first fun question is: what is the one object in the world you never want to be haunted?
You never want to be haunted.
Never want to be haunted. It could be anything.
I'm sorry, Darren, you cut out for me anyway. What you asked, what is the one what?
What is the one thing in one? What is the one object in the whole world you never want to be haunted?
Your underpants.
Which Nick Simons just said that.
Did he? Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna counter that and say that during the con, Patty Negri was selling Patty's power panties, and you might want those to be haunted. I don't know. So maybe it's
so.
situational. But I will say, if you're interested in Patty's power panties, go ahead and look those up. For myself, I'm going
You're
to
awesome.
go a different route and say not underpants, but I'm gonna say, how can I say this?
Just say it.
Relational objects that are used in the bedroom.
Yeah. See, we got parental advisory. Come
I
on.
don't know if you want those to be haunted.
Thank you, Pete.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I might.
Actually, I think Larry would probably lose his shit if his camera that he loves so much ever was haunted or possessed.
Well, see, they don't have to be possessed. They just have to mess with it, and I'll lose my shit. So please leave my cameras alone, please.
I'm here to tell you guys, all the bloopers that you guys get to see are always of Jen, me, and Steve, and maybe Larry here and there. But Larry is the most anal person you would ever want to meet. And if shit doesn't go just right when he's filming it, he loses it. And when they start messing with his stuff, he gets pissed really fast. And it's happened. I mean, there's times he started the camera and he'll walk over when he and I were investigating for season 1, and it was just he and I. He'll walk over and we'll get this session done. And one time he walks back and the camera had shut off. And he looks at me and he goes, "Can you believe that shit?" He goes, "We just went through all that and the damn camera didn't even record it."
Oh, that's the worst.
It's a process.
I feel your pain.
You got to get all the cameras set up. You got to get all the microphones turned on, and then you got to do the clap thing. And then all of a sudden, for one not to be on, it's annoying.
Oh, I feel your pain.
It's
just
annoying.
It frustrates the living hell out of him if, especially because that particular night something great happened and we never got it because the cameras got shut off. And
or a battery that's supposed to last for 3 hours, all of a sudden it's like, hey, 30 minutes, I'm done.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I have a question. What is the scariest? Well, I would just say, what is your most favorite memory of having a paranormal experience but not investigating? Like you're just sitting down eating dinner, or you're at work or driving in your car, not investigating, and you have an experience.
Go ahead, go first, Dan.
Probably the night that I lost time. I was driving home.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal.
I pulled onto a road. I was doing 55 miles an hour. I pulled onto a road, and all of a sudden I looked down, and I was 3 miles down the road, but it was 12 minutes later, and there was a totally different song on the radio.
Oh, wow.
To this day, I can't tell you guys where that 12 minutes went, because Larry and I actually drove. I told him about this, and he and I tested it, and we drove at 55 miles an hour. It should have only taken me 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Wow.
Took me 12. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I can't explain it, but 12 minutes later, there was a totally different song on the radio, and 12 minutes had passed. And I do not remember driving that stretch of road to save my life.
Wow. Larry?
Jeez.
Can you repeat the question so I know to answer it correctly?
The I don't know how to say, but I guess I would say like the most memorable paranormal experience that you had not investigating, like just
Okay.
So
this followed an investigation, completely unrelated to the investigation. I was in my car driving home, but we actually had done, I don't remember, we were at some cemetery. It was just Dan and I, back in the day, way back in the day. And I was driving home, and I'm in my car listening to some rock song. And all of a sudden, like a massive wave of emotion hit me. And I'm not a very emotional guy. I tend to keep it pretty bottled up, nice and tight. But on that car ride home, it did not work. So our friend Sandy, who is a psychic medium and then a bunch of other stuff, like, her titles are like that long.
Mhm.
I called her, and she explained it to me that wherever we were at, the spirit that was there didn't get the chance to talk to us enough. Apparently other spirits were like cutting in, and she didn't get to say what she needed to. So she hung out and followed me home, and I wasn't paying attention to her because I can't, I'm the opposite of sensitive. I'm insensitive.
Mhm.
So she's like, listen,
That's
you're
true.
going to pay attention to me. Bam. And then Sandy was able to get her to go and do something else, but whatever Sandy does, I don't know. But that was a very different experience. I never had that before. I've had things in an investigation, but not driving home a half an hour away from the location.
Yeah.
No.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you've
Not
never
so much
had
for the guy driving. So
right.
Mhm. Absolutely.
But you've never had any. You haven't heard. There's nothing else has happened after that.
For that encounter, no. I'm assuming she crossed that spirit wherever they needed to go, and that was it. Sandy's
Dan,
really good about that stuff.
Yeah. And Dan, the
Yes.
time things never happened again.
Never again, and never before that.
Somebody asked, she said, paranormal say, I'm curious about what paranormal device is everyone's favorite.
Ooh.
I already know
Recorder.
mine right off the bat. I
Go
like
for
all
it.
the speaker devices. The SB7, the Phasma box, the Necrophonic. I hate the S box, so we'll just check that one off the list.
I own one.
I strongly dislike that device. I have it too, and it never comes out. I hate it. But the SB7, the Phasma box, I'm okay with all the apps. I know people are like, they're either for apps or against the apps.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's things that come across the apps that you can't explain. Like
Right.
the Phasma box, one of our investigations at Broadhead, it called Dan a fatso. What database is going to have fatso in it?
True.
And then when we were at the scout camp, it said, fuck him. That's not in there. That's not in that database.
It's also said that at Maple.
Well, yeah. Everywhere we go, it says something mean to Dan. I'm working on our next episode, and it goes, Dan's talking, he says something, and then the Phasma box goes, I feel sorry for him. What?
Oh, what the hell?
When we were at
he's a
Stillman
bully.
Dairy,
He's a bully.
when we were at Stillman Valley, I said I would put out if I could, I would lay out a sleeping bag and sleep next to Captain Adams's grave because I know he would be there and have my back. And clearly across the Phasma box, it says, "Do it then, pussy."
It did. That's not in the
Phasma box
database.
is not supposed to cuss.
No, but it does all the
It
time,
does
and
all the
only
time.
at Dan. Only
It
at
does
Dan.
not.
Like
They
he and
do
I can
not
go
like
back and
me.
forth asking questions. It says nothing like that to me. As soon as he asks, fuck him, pussy.
Yep.
What?
Wow.
I don't know
it's
though.
it's
I don't
Dan's
know.
Musk,
Top
you know.
but
Besides
It could
myself,
be.
I would have to play recorder. I
Take
love
care.
recorder. I don't need anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
recorder here. I gotten too many things on the recorder to just like that blows me away.
Yeah, same.
like the
And
dowsing
But I
rod.
like my other gadgets still too. But
Yeah, it's not the expensive recorders; it's the cheaper ones that,
I use
that-
a Philips.
Yeah, I like Olympuses. I love Olympus recorders. I think they're awesome.
We use task cams.
I have one and I hate mine.
Yeah. Well, you had issues with feedback, wasn't it?
Yes, too much
Yeah.
interference with it. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's the DR05X is what I have.
Yep. The DR5.
Now the Philips I have, it's got 3 microphones on it. It is the cleanest and clearest recorder I have ever owned, and I have caught so much stuff on it. It's not even funny. I even caught a female scream at a Corey.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
How many flashlights you got, Darren?
Busted.
If you have to think about it, it's too many.
Yeah,
Dan, how many knives do you have?
Probably about 280.
Okay, well, you
Oh,
got too
Jesus.
many, even though you didn't have to think about it.
wait, what? How many? 280 what?
Knives.
Oh.
In other words, don't fuck with them.
Yeah, right.
Big knife collector.
Yeah.
I love collecting knives.
Oh, that's cool. I collect vintage Playboys.
That's even cooler.
I would like to see that collection.
Oh, it's massive. From the 1950s on up.
Oh, geez.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
What's your most like collectible, expensive magazine cover?
Oh.
I don't know what they're called.
You know what? I don't even know. I don't
Yeah.
even know. I've never looked them up. I'm not going to sell them. You know what I mean? Like, so I have them. I keep them nice and safe, but I also collect like legit vintage Playboy stuff. You know what I mean? So like real Playboys.
Oh,
So like
that's
mugs,
cool.
ashtrays, and just the real stuff. But my mom, when the Playboy Casino was up in Atlantic City, New Jersey, my mom was a Playboy bunny there, and wasn't in magazines. She was, she worked at the casino, but she was a bunny, and she would take me up there, and they'd all talk to me and say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I'm like, "A bunny." And they would like tip me. She said, "You would leave there sometimes with more money than I did." But I think
That's
Nice.
funny.
kind of where it
That's funny.
comes from.
So Marilyn Monroe was on the cover of Playboy, right?
Yes, I don't have that one.
You don't have that one?
So was Vanna White.
Wait, Vanna White was too?
Yeah, my dad had
Oh,
that
you
one.
should see all the women that have been on the cover of Playboy. I'm
Wow.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, good for them, but
Nice.
wow.
And I do collect them for the articles. Thank you very much. But I do appreciate the photos because I think women are beautiful.
Was
But
it Playboy or was it like Hustler or something that had the people that like wrote into the editor with their stories?
I think they both did it, but I mean, like, I think that Playboy was a little less, they were classy. They were
Okay.
kind of strict with stuff like that. But they do
Yeah.
have a hidden
Penthouse,
bunny.
that was it.
Yeah, Penthouse. So they do
Yeah.
have a hidden bunny on every cover.
A hidden bunny, like the
A
symbol.
hidden- yeah, they have a hidden bunny on every
Oh,
cover. And
That's
as they
neat.
got as it got into the new, like in the 1950s and 60s, that they were real obvious, but then they started to hide them like in the curls of the hair or like in the sun.
Oh,
Yeah, so I would sit there for hours and try to find the bunnies.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
So
Interesting.
Now I need to go back and find a bunch of Playboys to find the bunnies.
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
gonna
Larry.
find the bunny on the cover, then I'm
that's
gonna
my
read the
story and I'm
articles.
sticking to it. I like
Hey,
to find
Larry,
bunnies.
That
I had an idea about that though. At some point in each episode, we should bounce the moon through the episode and see if they can catch it.
There you go.
Which
that's
is
a lot
like
of extra work.
so
Not on me.
Penhurst Paracon. I'm working it, but Bridget, one of Hugh's girlfriends, Bridget is going to be there because she does do a show called Ghost Magnet, but she's going to be there. So I'm going to bring my Playboy with her on the cover, and I'm going to get her to sign it.
There you go.
What's with
I'll
all
give
these
her
like
something.
famous people getting into the paranormal?
Yeah, I know.
There
I
are some,
know.
yeah.
It's weird. Like the little person from Pirates of the Caribbean, he has a show he was on Paraflex, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, that guy looks familiar.
Really?
He did,
And he
yeah.
was
But I
he was
watched.
the actor from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I watched. He did an awesome job. He
Yeah.
really investigated well. I mean, you
And
know,
then-
just because you're famous doesn't mean you can't do cool
Sure.
shit.
And then I think it
Mhm.
was Megan Trainor that did a thing with Patty Negri recently.
Ah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
singer.
I don't know.
The
I think
singer,
so.
yeah. All these cool people are getting Jack Osborne. All these cool people are getting to the paranormal, and it's like I remember when the paranormal was kind of hush hush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still is in most areas.
Yeah, but now you get all these big names into it, and it's,
Well,
it's getting
some
more
of 'em-
accepted.
There's some people that probably
Nah.
shouldn't have.
I'm not a
so.
big Jack Osborne fan. I'm sorry.
Ketchup.
Yeah, Kesha. Yeah, my daughter. I was just going to say that, Taryn. My daughter and I were watching. What my daughter used to watch MTV before she went away to college, and Kesha had some stupid show. My stupid dollar life, whatever the hell it was, before she got into the paranormal. But
Yeah.
my daughter goes, "Dad, you got to come here." Yeah, Kesha was swearing up and down for 10 minutes straight. My butthole is haunted. What in the holy hell is wrong with you, kid? I could not
serious.
believe, and
I'm
I think
serious.
she's mentioned that a couple times. Her show,
It's,
whatever.
It's
I
and then that's the thing. I listen. I support so many people in this field. You know what I mean? Like, and I will
Mhm.
promote and support, and but I work really hard to be
Yeah.
where I'm at and do what I do, as do the people I promote and support, but just because you're on, you're already famous with something else doesn't mean you come bum rushing up in here and make a mockery of it, because to me that's what that was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll work hard what we try to achieve.
I know a lot of people are on the fence about
Yep.
Jack Osborne, but I still think he does enjoy doing it. He's not like making a mockery of it, but it's definitely his own spin.
Mhm.
Jack Osborne.
Oh yeah, no, there's been some shows that he has done though that I liked. I mean, even with Ozzy,
Yeah.
like when they would
Yeah.
just watch the videos and then they would talk about it and if they
Yeah,
were haunted
right.
or not. Like that was a good show. I thought it was
You
fun.
could tell they're not like super serious about it, but they're enjoying it and they're not making fun of it.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah, I don't
even
mind
the
it. I
show-
mean,
what? Is he frozen?
He
Dan?
might be,
No, he's not.
Oh,
no.
or he's lost in time.
Oh wait, Dan's lost in time. Yeah. Dan, are you there?
Hello, hello, hello.
It's been 12 minutes.
here.
There's a new song on the radio.
we've been waiting for you to come
And
back.
what's the song?
Ah,
Come back to us, please.
yeah, Dan.
Jay,
I wasn't
I
prepared
mean-
with the song.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey Jay. So I got another question for you. So what is the one object that you never want to hold?
Anything in the Warren / Zach Baggins Museum? None of it.
Yeah, that's tainted. That museum's tainted.
I don't know if it's tainted. I don't know if I'm superstitious, but you know what? I don't want to fuck with it. No.
I'm superstitious.
No,
You don't
But-
even want to touch a Dybbuk box?
no. You know what?
I'm superstitious.
I'm cool with Ouija boards. Other people can use Ouija boards. I can be in the same room. Am I gonna touch it? Nah. Nah. I'll film it,
Right.
but I ain't gonna touch it.
I would use a Ouija
Yeah,
board. I'm not- but
And yes, I will hold
I
your
would
hand,
probably.
Nick.
Jay says this is like the third time I've seen Dan Norvell today. I would say the Dybbuk box. I don't want anything to do with it.
yeah, I wouldn't touch one of those. Because I'm superstitious. Now, I definitely wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to touch anything like from King Tut's anything era.
Oh no.
That's what I would
Right.
not want to touch.
Lots
would
of
not
people
wanna touch
died
anything
kinda
from the
funky with
Holocaust.
King Tut. So
Yep.
mm-mm.
Everybody's like, I want to go to King Tut. Nope. Hard
Which-
pass.
Which I also completely understand. You're talking about, bacteria and organisms that are thousands of years old that our body can't handle. I'm
Right.
sure there's something in there that killed those people naturally,
Right.
but I don't care.
But-
I
Right.
ain't
Yeah,
gonna
no.
mess with it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. I think it's evil. Not evil, but I think
Some
it's,
shit
it is-
just needs to be left alone.
Somebody put something protective on there and they said, you're not supposed to ever touch this. And then we cracked it open.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching this show about it the other day and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I wouldn't even do it. Like, why would you?
Some
even
people
do
just
that?
don't think. So
Uh,
here's the big one.
Hmm?
The big one.
Nick.
So if you say, what is the Holy Grail to you personally? And if you caught it,
Hmm.
would you say, that's it, I'm done? Or would you say, I'm going to keep going forward and find my next Holy Grail that now I caught this, there's a new one?
Dan, go ahead. It gives me more time to think if
I
Dan goes
honestly
first.
don't. I honestly don't think I really have a holy grail. I'm going to
I
keep
don't.
doing this until I'm just tired of doing it. You know,
Because
I
you have
mean,
passion,
if we
that's
could,
the difference.
yeah, if we could go down and have a full on interview with President Lincoln at his tomb and he walked out and you guys could all see it and we captured every single bit of it, that would be awesome as hell, but it still wouldn't. I'd still keep moving forward to try to catch more and more.
I would
Um,
think this
yeah,
like that
I-
would rule it.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to just go until I just don't want to go anymore. Because, like I've said several times, guys, this is just something I do. This isn't who I am. And when I'm
Mhm.
done doing this, I will move on to the next thing. I really like chasing storms, and if I walk from the paranormal, you can bet your ass I'm going to be chasing storms.
Oh nope, not me.
That's
I
it.
better be in that car with you.
Famous last words.
You want to be
I better be in the car with you.
Mother
I
Nature.
love
it's
watching
being
tornadoes.
That's the one thing I wouldn't want to be haunted is Mother Nature.
Yeah.
She already is.
Oh, I know. I'll miss that.
I think for
Yeah, I
myself,
just posted. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, shut the hell up, Dan. I think I'm very in the same line with Dan. There really isn't much else that would be like, I got the most amazing thing ever. I'm done. I don't need to do anymore. You know, we've got Class A EVPs, we've got photos, we've got videos, we have thermal. You know, we have a lot of things that people are like, oh, I always want to catch that, and we already got it,
hmm
and we still do this.
Yeah.
So, you know, like Dan said, you know, Lincoln could be sitting in his chair and just be like, hey guys, want to have a chat? And it comes across on video, the audio is perfect, and it goes out onto the internet. And I'll still be like, so where we going next week, Dan?
Absolutely. I think
What's
it
that?
fuels it.
I'm
I think it
assuming-
fuels it. It's like I tell everybody, it's like
I'm
if
the
you watch
same.
meteor showers or you like watching meteor showers and you see a meteor go flying across the sky, you're like, oh, and you're like, okay, I'll stay out here for 2 more hours and wait for the next one. You know, like you're just like, I think it fuels it. And
Sure.
I love it. If it's a passion, you know, for me, I tell everybody this isn't a hobby for me.
Yeah.
You know, this is a part of my life. This is my life, you know, and
hmm
not my whole life, but it is a part of my life and it's who I am. So,
Right.
and then Mark, Darren's dad. I love thunderstorms, and I will go sit outside and watch thunderstorms, but I'm not chasing no tornado. You're out of your mind.
Yes,
I
I do. I stand right by the window and watch it.
Hi, Natalie.
I
I think
will
for
watch.
myself, my passion is more in the filming aspect now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what, you know, Dan said that this isn't who he is. That's just what he does. For me, the filming aspect is what I want to be. That's who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens that I can combine the filming and the paranormal together, and it makes it a really easy day.
Yeah.
But, you know, if for some reason, like, you know, all of the paranormal filming stopped and we're done with it, and Natalie's like, sorry guys, you're off the network, and Dan's like, I'm gonna walk now, and Jen said, peace out, Girl Scout, I'm gonna be the ghost hunter extraordinaire
Peace out,
now.
Girl Scout.
I'm gonna be like,
Love
you
it.
know what, I'm gonna go film something else, and it doesn't have to be paranormal, because that's what I love filming.
Right.
It's just nice because I get to film the paranormal, and it's combining my two favorite things.
And
Yeah.
there you go. You could do the storm chasing with Dan then.
I have the GoPros to do it.
That's
Yeah.
why I want to move to
A lot of
Gettysburg.
people
tried
use the GoPros.
to-
I got yelled
Yeah.
at by Nick because the boss
Yeah.
is here and I'm swearing.
Oh,
You have a potty mouth.
I'm sorry. I
Lawrence.
can't help it. I can't help it. I'm so sorry.
Well, you've
Sometimes
had a teacher.
The
Um,
thoughts of what to say and the mouth, they don't line up, and the mouth just says it, and then I go, "Ooh, wait, what did I say?"
Right. I hear
Guilty.
you. So this
Yeah.
has been a fantastic
And besides-
interview. Go ahead.
He's gonna say something mean about me.
Go ahead.
This has been a
No,
fantastic
I actually
interview.
wasn't.
And you know, we got to get you back on here for part 2 because we only got like to 4 of my questions out of like probably 15. Anyway,
I honestly think that you
Absolutely.
should do a show with Jen and have her come on and do her Ghost Hunter Extraordinaire skit the entire show.
oh, there you go.
Like, you're not interviewing Jen from Wisconsin Files, you're interviewing the Ghost Hunter Extraordinaire. It would be the most hilarious show ever.
that would be a good show.
Yeah, the entire show.
Well, we'll get her on. We'll get her on.
Oh my God.
I have Jenny Davis coming out on Friday, so
Okay.
No. Yeah.
So, but what I was gonna say is, like I said, it's been a fantastic show with you guys. We'll have you back on for part 2, maybe part 3. We'll see how far this goes.
4,
And,
5, 6, 7.
And
And we're
so,
back.
the one
Absolutely.
one thing I'd like to leave with the audience is, what's the type of message you want to leave with them? So when they done with this show, is like, hey, I saw this here. This is what I last heard, and this is a great message.
Mhm.
What do you want to leave with the viewers?
I'm gonna go first, Dan, because I always tell you to go first. So,
Yep.
it's been said numerous times throughout the weekend and all the posts that we've done. Dan and I really had an awesome time at the con, but a lot of the awesome time was also after the con, because we went to dinner with Natalie and Patty and Diet, and you know, for most people, you're at dinner with the boss. But having dinner with them wasn't like that. It was having dinner with your family and your friends, and people were joking and laughing. And then we came back to Broadhead, and instead of going home and investigating or any of that, we all just hung out in Bill's condo and joked and laughed and had fun. And then everyone was fighting who was going to leave first, except for Dan. He left first. And then, you know, it was like, you know, okay, I got to go home. It's 2 a.m. If you're in a paranormal community that isn't like that, you need to find that.
Yeah.
You need to find the community where it's like, you're not here to investigate and to do all this hard work. You're here to hang out with your friends, and you just happen to talk to some ghosts too.
Right.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
it's got to have that vibe to where it feels like, yeah, this is my place. This is where I want to be. I never want to leave this. If you don't
Mhm.
have that place yet, you really need to go and find it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Good message. Good message. Dan,
And
you're up.
That's what I got.
You guys South Park fans?
I love South Park.
My kids love South Park.
Follow your dreams. They can come true. I'm living proof. Beefy Pig!
Sorry, man.
Hello, you guys.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
about right. Sounds
That
about
will
right.
stick with me, by the way.
Taco flavored Keefies.
I just want to say, for the first time, next on Friday,
I got nothing.
I will be going live on location for a live
Oh.
interview at Octagon Mansion in Whiteville, Virginia.
Wow. Very
Wow.
cool.
So I'm driving 7 hours
Awesome.
to do an interview,
Yeah.
Hey, that's the way to do it.
but they're being awesome and they're letting me stay and investigate. So I'll be going live for that too. And I don't know if I'll be by myself. I'll probably be investigating by myself, and that'll be interesting as well.
Hey, Mike does it all the time. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't doubt you could do it too.
No, not in Gettysburg. That's the following weekend.
Yeah, he does.
We'll have to get. I see Natalie in chat here, so we'll have to get her on show and talk about Paraflex and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I'll send the invite for you,
Absolutely.
Natalie, and get that going.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
Natalie can talk about Patty's power panties. which
Yeah,
come in both
absolutely.
bikini and shorts. So, you know, there's a range of sizes and styles for
Brandon!
men and women and
Brandon.
everything in between or on the outsides, you know, whatever. So
hey Brandon,
I told Dan we'll get him a pair. It'll be great.
I
right?
won't care.
You can get a pair.
Do you want people to watch us, or do you want to sit in the hole? Jesus.
Well, I'm going to
And
film
look at
Dan
Dan
in
over
Patty's
there
power
and
panties,
his
but I'm going to have to
freaking-
adjust the exposure because it'll be too bright.
Yeah. Yeah. Exposure
Ah.
is the key word there.
Yes,
Exposure.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
no skid marks now.
Moons over my hammy.
Moon's over my hammy. Oh my god.
Pretty much. This is not the guy you want to see in this Speedo. Trust me. Yeah. I never claimed I should be, so I don't even want to picture myself that way. So I'm quite sure most of the people out in the paranormal world do not either.
Listen, there's only one way to find
So-
out.
Hey, I thought Bill was going to sell
Yeah.
underwear. He talked about last time.
I don't know.
I'll wear the panties. I'm just saying.
If Bill sells his, you know, his little onesie things, you know, like I'd buy a onesie of Bill's. Like, did you see
And
the
you would
picture of him
wear
in
it?
his onesie?
Mm-mm.
At the very end of the con, he got into his Fortnite llama onesie and was
Oh,
walking
jeez.
around.
That
and
was
it was hilarious.
A llama.
But yes,
It's on.
I
Somebody
would
put it on Facebook, and
absolutely-
it was.
I would investigate. I'd film in footy pajama onesies. It'd have to be like my own style of onesie, so it'd have to be like a little dragon or something. But you know, 100%, 100%.
Why don't we get Larry to dress up like He-Man and carry his sword around, and you know, every ghost he came across, he could pull his sword and, you know, say those magic words.
I mean, it'd be more
I
like
am
old man, but
He-Man.
you know,
Yeah.
why don't we all
I
do
could see that.
buy a pair and do a photo show?
That would be awesome. What a good idea.
Natalie, that's
got to-
awesome.
she's got to
Oh,
stamp that one.
I
She's
am
gonna be
so close to
with it.
saying challenge accepted, even though everybody's going to get sick when they see me.
Listen.
Boy.
I'll only do it if Nick Simons do it. Oh shit, he already said he'd do it.
You're screwed. You're so screwed.
No.
There he's doing it. You're going to see
Well.
it in his power panties.
What would Nick do?
All right.
He
all right.
wouldn't. He would do everything. He wouldn't do
I would do
anything.
I'll revise that. I'll only do it if Nick does it and if we wear matching flannels this time.
You
Damn it.
can't change the rules.
I'm changing the
You said
rules.
you
No.
do it if Nick would
He
do
can
it.
change
He,
the rules.
he
I like
called
that
your
rule.
bluff. Now you're doing it.
No, we got to have
like that rule.
matching
Ugh.
flannels like
I
we were
like that
supposed
rule.
to at the con.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like
okay,
the first
we
thing we
can
talked
accept
about when
the
I
rule
got
change.
there.
We can accept the rule change, but Nick gets to pick the panties you're wearing, Larry.
Nick wants to recreate. Oh God, he wants to recreate the video that we shot for Madison and Tamara at Broadhead. Remember that one? The go-go dancers, my sister.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Listen, Nick.
Yes.
I don't know what you expect me to do for moves, but I'm just gonna emulate what you do, and we'll try our best.
I just don't want you to fall on your ass, but if you did, that would be the added laughter. Dude,
Yeah,
Nick,
yeah.
if you guys
We'll
do it,
a-
I will totally be there to watch. I'm not going to promise I won't have a heart attack, dying laughing, but I'll definitely be there.
This
So
has got to be a Facebook Live thing.
Marcia said that we'll do a Men of the
Absolutely.
Paranormal calendar. We'll
Yeah.
do the Paraflix Patty's Power Panties calendar.
Yeah.
And I got dibs on August.
Larry,
my
you better
birthday
get your poses down.
I'm gonna start working out right now.
Larry's going to be. You guys are going to see Larry. Power pennies going.
All right, if we're picking months, I'm March because that's my birthday.
March it is. Wait, it's the Men of the Paranormal.
Oh,
Hold
yeah,
on.
damn
Wait
it.
a minute.
Damn
Okay,
it.
okay. We'll do
Natalie's
one of
in.
each.
Okay, calendar it
One
is,
of
she
each.
says.
One of each. No, I'm willing to
Yes.
bet the women of the paranormal calendar will probably outsell the men, but
Most
knows?
likely.
Never know.
you never know. I
You
know
never
Nick's
know.
gonna get 4 or 5 of the men's ones, so
We could do a women's and a men's.
that's right. That's right.
Nick says
All
if
the
you
panties
combine
panties.
Paraflix and Netflix, it makes triple X.
Yes.
That is true. That is true.
Oh man.
I mean, the idea just keeps coming. By the way, we have to, make sure everybody knows nobody steals this idea.
Mhm. Natalie's on the computer right now, trademarking everything. Like,
Yes,
Yep.
yes, I know.
We're
Done,
pinning
done,
that
done.
one. We're pinning that one. And we're doing this one
Natalie
next
has
year at this
December.
con.
If Natalie
We're-
has December, then I'll have March. You have August.
I got August. Dan's got June.
There's gonna be. I'm gonna start up an OnlyFans fat guy Patty's panties site.
We'll call it Only Dan's.
Only Dan's. Yep, Only Dan's.
Only Dan's.
Welcome to Only Dan's. Do you like
It might be a
this?
new trademark right there.
Yeah, I'll start it out. You want to make me horny, baby? Do I? Randy. I think it'd be better if
gosh.
I think it would be better if I did it as a leprechaun. Do I make you horny?
All right,
Randy.
Dan is no longer in June.
Are you
Dan
horny
is
enough?
in March now. And he is leprechaun themed. Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I want the green one.
We need a special power panty for Dan that says luck and it's got charms all over it.
No, Natalie. If I'm going to do March for St. Patty's Day, we have to use enough material to cover me lucky charms.
And then put a couple little beer mugs in there too, just in case.
Sure,
But
why
we can
not?
hide them in the fabric. You make a silhouette of beer mugs.
Oh man.
Oh, you like one of your French girls, Dan? Yes. Oh,
Next
sweet
year's
Jesus,
Paracon's
it's
gonna be
gonna
interesting.
You could have Kat's daughter draw you. She did great with her
I
drawing.
could. Yes, I
Look,
could. She
listen,
could put
we're-
leprechaun ears and all sorts of stuff.
We're roping everybody into this.
Whoa,
Come
Steve,
on.
man, you've missed it
Yeah.
all, buddy. Steve Wren just popped in. You missed it all, bud.
Steve,
Hey,
when's your
Steve.
birthday? When's your birthday, Steve?
What month?
Yep.
What month?
What month are you taking, Steve? You're going to be wearing underwear on
Oh,
camera.
no. Be quiet. Don't tell him yet.
So Natalie says, you do realize there's no backing out of this project now. There's been too much pre-planning and manifest. She's so right. I'm completely right.
Oh, sweet Jesus, it's going to happen.
I claim May, but I ain't posing.
Come on.
You already just said it. You can't back out now. You're. Oh, Steve is August
Nick,
too.
where do I
All right, you know
sign?
what? Steve and I will
Right
go
under
back
me,
to back.
Nick.
We'll go back to back in August.
Oh,
Well,
Steve
if Dan
says
goes
August.
in March, then me and
Wait a
Mark
minute.
have-
Wait, where's Bill?
Then me and Dan have to go back to back.
Bill, okay. Bill can be in every month
You're
for all
gonna
I
do
care.
March. Oh my gosh, we could do each month have a guy in it. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't work. If you
That could be the third
Oh.
calendar. You do one of each, and then the third is multiples.
Yeah.
Like a
collect.
firefighter calendar where they're all holding the hose together.
I just
between their
want
legs.
to point out, and not that I'm complaining because I think it's funny as hell. This went from paranormal to abnormal very quickly.
Yeah, it did.
And I-
It did.
Went to panty normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Darren's like, well, we're
right.
gonna wrap the show up. Oh, here's 30 minutes of us talking about Patty's power panties and then calendars.
Yeah.
Dan.
The most entertaining part of the show is the last 30 minutes.
So Nick Simon
Uh,
says, "Where do I sign?" And Natalie says, "Dan's left cheek." Hell yeah!
Oh man, but you better wipe your butt off, Dan, because he's coming to sign right now.
Hell, I got to shave.
You might want to shave him a spot to sign. Yeah.
It sounds like an excellent idea.
Well, this show will be pinned, guaranteed.
There's gonna be a lot of clips like start the show at exactly 1 minute.
Natalie's probably already saved the show, so
Get your ass
Nick
ready.
says he's walking to his truck right now. Get your ass ready.
That's Dan's favorite line.
Get ready.
oh man.
God,
So
this totally went from an episode of your guys' show to very, very deliverance themed.
Yeah.
well, we
Oh,
had the
oh.
parental advisory up there, so
Yeah. It always
Yeah.
happens.
this is
Oh,
I have
like
a
I said,
feeling that-
I could have said sex toys earlier then.
That's what
I have a feeling.
Damn it.
I have a feeling
That's all
Nick Simon is going to pull up. in
that's
front
on
of
your
my house.
own time.
I have a feeling that Nick Simon is going to pull up in front of my house and go, "You got a right pretty mouth there, Dan."
Oh my God.
With his flannel, but no shirt underneath, just like rubbing his belly button.
With his flannel and his panties on. Come on, boy, get out here.
Where do I sign?
Jesus, no.
Oh man. Well, I thank everybody for joining us for tonight's episode. It's been wonderful. We're gonna have many parts coming up, so many times to pin the episode. And so remember, you've been watching Paranormal Brew, the BB3 TV network, MGS Paranormal on YouTube, and Darren Bus on Twitch, and Paranormal Brew and BB3 TV on YouTube as well. So thank you all for joining us. You've been a great audience in chat. Without you guys in chat, the show wouldn't happen. So
It's been
that's Taryn,
interesting.
that's Larry, and that's Dan, and I'm Darren. I bid you all
And we're
adieu.
Raunchy as hell.
Yes.
I bid you all adieu and have a great rest of your Monday. And I will see you Friday with Jenny Davis.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
So long, everybody.
Bye.